Welcome to my channel. My name is Ira Jewel, and as you can see from the title, I'm pregnant. And this video, I'm just going to be doing a quick first trimester recap. I had tried to do a vlog style of all of my first appointments, which I did do, but I was having sound issues. So I will insert clips so that you guys can see a little bit of that. So I'm going to start out with my symptoms. Luckily, my first trimester, and I have not had an awful experience with being sick all the time, and I'm really grateful for that because I know a lot of people have that experience. That was not my experience. So I'm just gonna get into what my symptoms were. So early on, after I found out I was pregnant, I was experiencing cramping, like as it was light cramping that felt like as if your period was about to come, like as if my period was about to come on. And so it wasn't painful, it was just, you know, really just kind of there. It was kind of annoying. And so that's normal as your uterus is starting to grow and all of that stuff. But yes, light cramping is completely normal, and I was dealing with that. I didn't deal with any spotting or anything. I was dealing with a lot of fatigue. Like, I was tired all the time. I swear I could take a nap anywhere. I am not the type of person who naps a lot, so I knew that this was definitely due to the pregnancy, and I just couldn't help it. I had to take a nap. It has also been impacting my ability to, like, my energy levels to go out and walk like I used to, keep up with my schoolwork online. Like, I may have to put that on pause because it literally has been a lot. At the time of this video, I am 14 weeks and 6 days. I'll actually be 15 weeks tomorrow, which is a Monday. So yay, I'm finally in my second trimester, and the fatigue has eased up a little bit. I was dealing with face breakouts. My face was breaking out a lot on my cheek areas. I feel like it's still, you can still kind of see it just a little bit right there, but it was a lot worse in the first trimester. My face, and I'm looking at my notes, but my face breaking out was very irritating because I don't typically break out, so I definitely knew that it was because of the pregnancy. My next symptom was having very dry and cracked lips. I was just feeling like no matter what I put on my lips, I just could not get any relief from that. And what I did try was using, this is so funny, because I was also having dry and cracked nipples, which is common during pregnancy as well. As your breasts change and grow and, you know, get prepared to produce milk, you will have some breast changes. And so, well, you may, but for me, I started to use a Nipple Balm, and it does say that it's safe to use during all your prenatal times, and as well as after pregnancy if you choose to breastfeed. But you can also use it on your lips, and it's completely safe. So what I would do was put it on a few times a day, or put it on at night and let it sit on, and then in the morning I would just feel so much better. Because I am a Carmex user, I use Carmex all the time, but Carmex was not doing anything for this level of dryness. So I just wanted to put that tip out there. You can use a nipple cream. The nipple cream that I use, it was from Walmart, and I don't have it with me right now, unfortunately, but it has lanolin. So plenty of other brands and nipple creams, most of them have lanolin in it. Next, I was experiencing only light nausea. I did not have any experience with vomiting. There was only one time, and I remember because I was 7 weeks, and it was like this change. Like, I realized that I could not go on an empty stomach for very long, and that is very common for a lot of women who are pregnant. If you let yourself get hungry, you may experience some nausea. So at first I wasn't really noticing any nausea, and then when I realized sometimes I just don't eat breakfast. Well, prior to pregnancy, I can't do that now. So I have to at least eat something, and I had gone a little bit too long, and I felt like I was literally about to throw up. So that's the only time that I had that experience, and I learned then, and I haven't really had any issues with it then. To piggyback off of that light nausea, I also had food aversions. Food aversions are now improving a little bit now that I'm in my second trimester, but I still experience it. Like, there are certain things I used to love to eat that I can't eat now. Like, I love a Caesar salad, but I can't. In my first trimester, I could not imagine myself eating a Caesar salad, but I just ate a Caesar salad this past week, and I was really excited because I enjoyed it. But food aversions, there were just certain things that I used to love that I no longer cared for, and there were certain things I had a taste for that I typically don't eat very often, but I wanted a lot. Like I wanted to eat beef a lot or burgers a lot. Not that I necessarily did, but I was having those cravings, and I would like cook food or make a meal plan, and it's almost impossible when you deal with food aversions to really stick to a meal plan, because you'll get the food and you're like, I don't want to eat this, or this just doesn't even sound good today, and you kind of have to eat what you're craving, because otherwise, like, I just couldn't finish my food, and my husband's like, you didn't eat. I'm like, I don't want this. So meal planning was kind of difficult. I feel like I'm going to try now that the food aversions are a little bit better. All right, another symptom is constipation. So when you're pregnant, your digestive system slows down a lot, and for me, I don't know if you've ever seen any of my previous videos, but I have a condition called Crohn's disease, and so my symptom is certainly the opposite. Typically when I'm dealing with any sort of flare-up or anything or symptom, I'm not dealing with constipation, I'm dealing with the opposite. So this is definitely new for me. It's kind of welcomed actually that I don't have to deal with the opposite thing because I can kind of manage constipation. Like, you can take Miralax while you're pregnant, you can do prunes. I've done a little bit of apple juice and that helped, or eat apples or grapes. And so it has been manageable, and as long as you're keeping up with your water intake, you can manage it. And yeah, so that symptom is pretty frustrating because I find myself feeling like really stopped up sometimes. But like I said, there are definitely some things you can do to help with that. The next symptom was hunger. I don't deal with it as much now, but I was so hungry. Like weeks 7 to 8, I felt like I wanted to just eat everything. Like, I don't know, I just could not get past that hunger. And so now I feel like it's definitely better. And when I do eat, I can't really eat as much as I used to before I was pregnant for some reason. I think it's just my body changing and things are being rearranged and adjusted, and that's fine. And so for me, my appetite isn't as strong as it used to be, because once I get a taste of something and I'm like, okay, I'm good. So, but I know as I progress, I probably will get a lot hungrier. The last symptom that I experienced, and if I forget any, I will put them up on the screen now. And this one right here is peeing. So I would say like the peeing started to increase at 8 weeks. Like for me, I noticed a huge difference, and I already have a condition prior to pregnancy that causes me to use the bathroom a lot, and that is because of my fibroids. I have fibroids, which I have a big one that sits near my uterus, which actually impacts my bladder and causes me to have to go to the bathroom a lot. So that was something I was already dealing with, right? But it just got way worse. And so now that I'm in my second trimester, it is still bad. I wake up 3 to 4 times a night to pee. And it's frustrating because I can't just get a full night's sleep. It is what it is. I look at it as it's preparing me for the baby, so I'm not going to get any great sleep anyway, more than likely. So those would be my first trimester symptoms. And now I'm going to get into my first prenatal appointments. My first prenatal appointment was when I was 8 weeks, and I do have some ultrasound pictures that I will insert. And it was so nice to see the baby. The baby was like a little blob at that point. Me and my husband got to see the heartbeat. We got to listen to the heartbeat, and it was such a wonderful experience. I was so nervous for this appointment because, you know, this is my first pregnancy, my first child. I don't have any experience with this. And so I was just really, really praying that everything was going to be okay. Thank God everything was okay. And so I had a positive experience. The midwife was just so friendly. She answered all of my questions, all of my concerns. They did give me like a paper just to kind of tell me like what foods to avoid, what medications to avoid, all that good stuff. And we set me up for a 10-week appointment. Now at that time, the midwife, she was like, her sonography skills weren't that great. And so because of my fibroids and stuff, she just wanted to make sure that the baby was in my uterus. So she sent me to go to the sonography department the following week, which was actually Valentine's Day. So I was exactly 9 weeks on that day. And I actually got to see the baby again, which was like such a blessing. So at week 9, I got to see the baby again. I got to see the heartbeat. They confirmed that the baby was in my uterus and that everything was okay. So at that point, you know, I was just so relieved. I was happy. And plus, she was like 99% sure that the baby was in my uterus because I wasn't having any other symptoms of bleeding or pain or anything like that. So, and I got to see the baby at week 10. That's because they already had a week 10 appointment scheduled for me. And at week 10, we did a glucose test for, you know, the gestational diabetes, which came back negative for me. That was a bit of a frustrating appointment because it was kind of rushed a little bit. They were running behind, and you have to do that glucose test within 1 hour of drinking the solution. And I was like a few minutes late. Anyways, it all worked out. They drew my blood. All my blood work looked fine. I got to see, at that point, I wasn't going to be able to see the baby, but they were just going to hear the baby on a heartbeat Doppler. But she was so nice. Like, I was just like, I'm not gonna get to see my baby until 20 weeks. And I was just like, you know, my first time mom. But I didn't cry or anything. She was just really cool. And she was like, you know what, I'm gonna let you see the baby. So she pulled out the ultrasound machine and she let me see the baby. And you guys, I am so happy that she did that for us because we got the cutest clip. Like, I swear I did not think, from going to seeing those blobs the past 2 weeks, I was not expecting to see this. So I'm gonna put this clip across the screen. The baby was just moving and I was able to see all of that. And we were just joking about how, you know, tiny the baby is. And the fact that the baby's just doing all this little movement, it was adorable. And I'm really grateful that I was able to see the baby as often as I did for whatever reason at that time. That is pretty much my first trimester recap. It's been great for me. I don't have any awful things to share or to report, and I'm happy to say that. As I enter my second trimester, I'm going to be documenting probably week by week or probably group 2 weeks together. So if you are interested in seeing my pregnancy journey, please subscribe. And I will also be kind of still talking about dealing and managing my condition while I'm pregnant, along with the fibroids. So if you're interested in that, please, I would love for you to subscribe and stay tuned for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.